In this video, I'll provide an overview of the stock market game and assignment. So here we are on our homepage, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the weekly modules like we usually do. And then scrolling down to week 11, I'll go ahead and close week 10. Here we are in the module for week 11. And so the first thing that you'll see is the stock market game registration and instructions. So make sure to read through this carefully, but I will go over these instructions step by step. And then the video that you're watching right now is this link here. And then the rest of the usual assignments for the week are just below. So I'm going to go ahead and click into the registration and instructions page. So you'll notice over the next few weeks, we're going to be focused on investing. And so while week 11 is about investing in bonds, you'll also be learning how to invest in mutual funds in stocks in the subsequent weeks. So in this week, you're going to register and do some training when it comes to investments for stock markets. So the first thing you'll want to do when we go in here is to register for the game by April 14th. So all you'll do is click on this link right here, and it's going to take you to a page called howthemarketworks.com, and you're going to fill in some information. You'll want to come up with a username, a password. You'll provide a little bit of information about yourself, including an email address and a first name and last name. Please make sure that your first and last name are the same names listed in Canvas. That way I can identify you readily for grading purposes. Make sure to click the I agree. You probably don't want any additional third party or marketing, but if you're interested, you can click there. And then click the register button. So for instance here, after you've registered, when you go back into this page and you log in, I'm going to go ahead and click log in here. I'm going to see the How the Market Works game, and it has lots of information. My screen looks a little bit different than yours because I am a teacher. I would recommend if you go to contests and click on My Contests, you'll see our game right here. So it's the Miracosta College Spring 2019 Stock Market Game with Dr. Annie No. You can see the trading dates. We'll be trading for 2 weeks between April 14th and April 26th. So it's important that you register before the 14th because you have to do the training. So you'll learn about how to play the game as well as different aspects of investing. You'll notice that students will be given $50,000 each, and you'll be required to do a specific number of trades. So for the training, you can see it right here on the right. There's an assignment summary. It's investment training spring 2019. This will let you know how much you've completed of it. So if I click on see more, so here's the training activities. You'll be watching a couple videos and reading a few articles. Some have a short like 3-question quiz just to make sure that you understand the concepts. And so as soon as you complete all of these, it'll show up on the right as completed and you'll get credit for it. So in terms of the basic trades, you'd need to place or buy at least 5 US stocks. You need to do at least 2 US stock limit orders. So it's important you read and watch the videos to know what a stock limit order is. And you're going to do 1 mutual fund trade. Again, you want to make sure to watch these videos so you can understand what that entails. And then once you've completed all these tasks, then you're ready for the game. In the past, I've had students try to play the game without doing the training, and they have a terrible time because they don't know what they're doing and they get really frustrated. So it's important to go through these training activities in advance before the game begins on the 14th. That's why I have the registration and training activities assigned the week before the game begins. So on the 14th, once the game begins, you'll be able to click into this and see how everyone's playing, who's in first place, where you rank in terms of the class. So note that doing the training and completing the different trades is worth 30 points. So just doing and participating is worth 30 points. And I'll be able to track all of that through the system. You should be watching your ranking and your goal is to win. Now, I've had students complain that they work all day and can't play. That's not true. It just means you have to place your orders in the evenings after work and they will go into effect the next business day. Many people have daytime jobs but can still play stocks, whereas some other folks just do it for a living. Now note, even though our game officially starts on April 14th, I do recommend placing some of your stock orders in advance on that Sunday. That way, as soon as the markets open on Monday morning, your trades will get placed and you're ready to go. I also recommend reading the user guide or just saving it, downloading it and saving it. So as you're playing, you know how to navigate. I'll go ahead and click on that real quick. And so in the user guide, it does have some instructions on registration. So if you need a little bit more help with that, it'll also tell you how to find your active contests. So you'll see the contests up in this banner here. But as I showed you in the last screen, if you click on contests and go to my contests, you should see what we're playing right here. If we scroll down, there's written instructions here on how to trade stocks. So while you're watching the videos, let's say you forget or you prefer reading through how to do the trading, you can just go to this user guide and look at it real quick with some example screens. I'm going to scroll down. Here's some instructions on trading mutual funds. Instructions on how to manage your portfolio. And again, all of these activities you're doing through the videos and articles. This is just another resource as you navigate the game. And then here you can track your cash balances and your transaction history and your order history. So you'll want to double check if your orders went through, which ones have been completed or not. So you can double check that everything went through okay. If as you place orders, something doesn't feel right or you're not sure what happened because it didn't go through, email me. I'm happy to answer. So some of the reasons why your order might not go through is, for instance, if you place an order on Friday afternoon, it's the weekend, the stock markets have closed, your order will get placed on Monday. Or perhaps you do a stock limit order and you set it at a certain amount and it hasn't been completed. It's probably because that amount hasn't been reached yet in terms of the stock price. So usually there is some conceptual reasons why your order might not go through. But if you're not sure, email. It might be a technical glitch or it might be a conceptual issue. And again, in the assignment here in the instructions, I do remind you the different stock orders you have to do. And as I mentioned, you'll be watching videos that explain how to do it, but that you also have the user guide above. So I'm trying to give you as much resources as you need. In a few weeks, what you'll end up doing after the game's done, and again, the game plays for 2 weeks, you're going to write a one-page paper using our summary and reaction paper format, the same format you used for the consumer credit and the insurance assignment, and it's worth 50 points, and that's due May 5th. So if you have any questions, again, about how to write the paper, you'll want to make sure to click on the Appendix A here and look at the instructions for the summary and reaction paper format. But again, the first part of the paper, short paragraph that explains which stocks you chose and why. And any background information you want me to be aware of. So this should be very short. I don't need you to spell out specifically all the details because I can already see that in the game. So you don't have to tell me like I traded this on this day and that on that day. I'm curious at a high level what stocks and mutual funds you chose and why. And in part 2, the majority of the paper, and again, it's only one page. This is your reaction to the work. It's the same bullets we always do. So the first bullet asks you to identify the ideas and concerns from our course. So specifically, you're going to identify and explain key concepts from the textbook, our discussions, the lectures, and you have to cite per APA. There are still some folks that are not integrating anything from the course into the paper. You need to demonstrate that you're able to link the theory to the actual application of what we're doing in real life. Although real life is safe because this is just a game, no one's losing any real money. Our second bullet, you want to connect this to your life, experiences, feelings, and ideas. What emotions came up for you? Have you ever played or looked at stocks before? How you feel about this type of investment? Third bullet is how does it relate to our present day world? Again, I want you to think big picture. What does stocks and mutual funds have to do with the larger society, our economies, our country, our world? And then in the last bullet is did it increase your understanding on the topic of stocks? Did it change your perspective in any way? And for some of you playing the game, you'll think this is great. I want to dive right into stocks. And for some other folks, this will be an exercise that lets you know maybe stocks are not your thing. Perhaps a mutual fund is a better investment for you. Now, again, make sure to double check some of the points of consideration. Um, just saying something is not enough. You have to give evidence, an explanation. So, anytime you offer a sentence or an idea about something, ask yourself why, because that's what I'm asking when I read your papers. I'm asking, why did you say that? And I'm looking for more details that explain why you believe or think something. Again, please use this structure here. It helps organize your writing, but it also makes it really easy for me to find all the pieces to make sure that you're addressing the components of the assignment. Proofread, check for grammar and spelling. Anytime you paraphrase or quote, you should be citing APA. Sometimes I can tell that you're incorporating content from our book, which is great, but without citing it properly, it's vague, and it's also doesn't properly give credit to the authors of the textbook. Again, don't use quotations too much. If the majority of your paper is just quotes from the book, that doesn't let me know that you understand the material. It just lets me know you know how to copy paste the right material. So, again, be careful of that. I do recommend also watching this video on how to navigate the website. I know I briefly clicked around a little bit to show you how to find the contest and how to find the training, but you want to make sure to watch this navigation video. It'll give you more detail about how to move through the website. So if you have any questions, just let me know.